I'm McBreairty, and my guest today is Joseph Jasgur, photographer. He was among Marilyn Monroe's early photographers. He currently has an exhibit at the Holiday Inn in Hollywood. Welcome to the show. Tell me first about the exhibit.
Well, we begin with the photo exhibit I had at the Holiday Inn. Has 28 of my original photos on display. Now, I took about 96 total, black, white, and color. And I put 28 on display. They're 16 by 20 sepia prints, mounted, of course, on mount boards, and they're all behind plexiglass.
And these are pictures that you took in the like 46 and 47?
They were basically 1946 when she was 19 years old.
And how did you get to take these photographs in the first place?
I begin with back in 46, which was March 46, I received a call from an old friend of mine who had shared an office with me for a few years. And then line says, "Joe, I have a gal here, I don't know anything about her, and I don't know what she looks like or anything about it." Emmeline was head of the Blue Book Model Agency.
Emmeline
Snively. Snively. And she said, "Could you do me a favor and just try a few test shots and see if she has any possibilities?" She said, "Since I don't know anything about her," I said, "Okay, ship her over."
And this woman turned out to be Marilyn Monroe?
Which ultimately, yes. She was Norma Jean Gordy at the time.
What do you wait? I mean, this is like 26 years later after her death. Why did you wait so long to come out with these pictures?
Well, a lot of people have asked me the same question. I took the pictures 46, which is about 42 years ago. I could have brought them up earlier, but for some reason, it's like a lot of antiques. You know, while they're in use, they're not really antiques, but once you unload them somehow, they become an antique. Your garbage is somebody else's treasures.
Was there any indication when you were taking these pictures that the magic of Marilyn Monroe was there at that time, or it never occurred to you, or?
No, I didn't give it a thought. In fact, a lot of people said now, "Did you know she was going to be famous?" I said, if I had any idea, I would have taken many, many more pictures of her. That's the only answer I could safely give them.
How did you get to know her during this? Was it just a photographer-model relationship?
No, it was more than that. Since I gave her pictures, and I took, when she first came over, she was broke, hungry, and of course she was on the process of getting divorced from Jim Doherty at the time, her first husband. And I guess the fact that I befriended her, it's like a person befriends a little stray dog that's hungry. You feed them and they kind of want to stick around. I gave her whatever pictures I felt would be good to get her started. I helped her get her first portfolio, and she didn't have any photographs of her whatsoever. So over a period of time, I did take all these pictures, and I gave her copies of everything, and the ones that looked extra good, I gave her extra prints of everything.
Did she use the pictures that you took to get work as a model?
Yes, not only as a model, but she would use the photos to get into various studios and everywhere she could. Without the pictures, there wouldn't have been a Monroe today.
So you really feel like you made a significant contribution to the development of Marilyn Monroe's career?
Oh, definitely. In fact, it was during the TV program on another channel. Tom Kelly, Milton Green, who was their business manager at the time, and photographer, and we had a little on-the-air discussion about her, and Tom said, "Joe," he says, "did you know if it hadn't been for you, I would never have taken that nude picture of her?" And I said, "What do you mean, Tom?" He said, "Well, when she first came to me, he was not going to use her." She didn't turn him off very well as far as a good subject. Then she pulled out the pictures I had made of her from her little case she was carrying, and he took a look at them and said, "Well, maybe she does have possibilities." So it was then that he took the famous nude picture that became calendars and got her really started into the business.
You know, as I was looking at your exhibit at the Holiday Inn, there was something very ordinary about her. You know, you didn't see great beauty or anything, you know, magical or wonderful about her. did her looks develop? I mean, did she make changes in her physical appearance somehow, or?
Oh, yes.
What kind of changes did she make?
Well, to begin with, when I first photographed her, she had a broad nose. She had that.
So she had her nose fixed?
She had her nose definitely fixed. It was narrowed down, and the big bulbous type of effect that I got in certain pictures, I had to be very careful about lighting and angles. Same with the chin. She had that repaired.
Mm-hmm.
And she had some dental work done in her teeth. And
she had her teeth capped?
I don't know if it was capping, but she had some work done. I had some photographs where she looks like she has, buck teeth, if you want to use that expression to a certain extent. And she had her breasts worked on.
What did she have done to them?
Uplift.
Is that right?
Right.
So she really, do these, the fact that you have pictures before these changes were made, does that make your pictures more valuable?
Oh yes, not only that, but see, a lot of people have seen the famous Marilyn Monroe with a mole on her cheek. My photos never show her with a mole.
So where did the mole come from?
Cosmetically.
Is that a fact? I mean, what, was it like a tattoo kind of thing?
I like that with makeup. In fact...
but it was temporary? I mean,
oh yes. In fact, in some photographs I've seen of her with a mole. Some were up here, some were down here, and some without any mole.
I just remembered I took somebody with me to the exhibit who mentioned that, and that's true. So her famous mole was not really a mole after all.
True. And now I saw some of the clips of her, Something's Got to Give, the last picture is never completed. I didn't see any mole on her cheek at all.
Speaking of cosmetic surgery that Marilyn Monroe had, there's what's becoming known as the famous six-toe picture that you have, which is pretty bizarre. And you do have a picture of her where she supposedly has 6 toes.
Oh, yes.
So, tell us about that. I mean, this is obviously very new information.
To begin with, I never realized she had 6 toes when I photographed her at the beach in '46. This particular shot was in color, made on with a large camera, so it's a 4 to 5 inch transparency, Kodachrome transparency. And I did not notice anything unusual about her toes or anything about it, just another color picture, until I had it blown up to a 16 by 20 inch print, color print. Mm-hmm. And it was during the examination of the print that came to my attention. I said, she's got 6 toes. And this is only about 3 years ago, approximately, that I discovered it. I did not know it at the time.
Where was this picture? You had it all these years. You just
yes.
never observed the 6 toes.
I took the shots down to Zuma Beach, and whenever I photographed her at the beach, when she had no shoes on, she buried her toes in the sand. She had like a turned down type of thing. And this particular one I just happened to shoot. And she had her feet separated and standing there on her left foot. She had 6 toes, very prominent. And she did have it removed surgically, of course, after the pictures were made.
Mm-hmm. Is there any, I mean, can it be proven that these pictures weren't retouched, that a toe wasn't added? Yeah.
Yes, in the original transparency, which is a Kodachrome, you can see there's no retouching at all. It's the original thing, going way back to '46.
Mm-hmm. Well, that picture's not included in your current exhibit at the Roosevelt. Why not?
First of all, since some of the press got hold of the information, I showed it to the press, but would not allow them to photograph the picture. But it did get out to Japan and all around the world on cable network. So, and I have been receiving offers from all around the world. They want to publish it in magazines and different things, and people want to put out posters around the world, and other people want to make a big deal. So I am only talking business through my attorney to see what
So I suppose the picture's worth a fortune.
But
the picture's probably worth a fortune.
Yes, we've been offered an awful lot. One magazine was up to 100,000 just to use it, and other people come up with a sizable chunk to use it or to put out posters, different things like that.
Do you think that'll ever become a tabloid headline? Marilyn Monroe had 6 toes.
It's very possible. It could be. It could be.
You said that Marilyn Monroe was a user of people, and I'm just curious who, at the risk of sounding naive, and how she was a user.